In terms of the concern that, yeah, but when they're young, they don't know, and you should wait. We wait with kids on everything else. We don't like them make decisions about where they're going to go to college, let alone what their identity is. Response.
My response is that kids know their genders unequivocally. Cisgender kids know their genders, and transgender kids know their genders, and there shouldn't be really a difference between them. Think about how sure you felt of your gender from some of your earliest childhood memories. It's no different.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section. Get you one of these shirts. A discount code will pop up somewhere on the screen. So y'all already know how it is. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a hotel room. I'm supposed to be in New York City, but I'm stuck in St. Louis. So I got to make a video from St. Louis before I get to New York City, before I go to Israel. So no, that's nor here nor there. I want to talk to you guys about this video I saw from Black Conservative Perspective. If you guys don't follow Black Conservative Perspective, I don't know what you're doing. He's an up and coming Black Conservative. I mean, he is making incredible videos. He makes like 5 videos a day. Maybe he learned from the best, but I don't know. Anyway, he made an incredible video. I was watching it and I saw this clip of this doctor who is an advocate for prescribing, for suggesting gender affirming care. Okay, so let's talk about what gender affirming care is, and I'm gonna show you 2 videos. I'm gonna show you one where she was on Cuomo's show, and I felt like she looked like a complete idiot. I mean, to the point where Cuomo went silent because it's like, well, I don't know what to say to the foolery that you're spewing. And then Dan Crenshaw. Oh my God. Dan Crenshaw literally obliterated this woman. I mean, she has no opportunity to ever be taken seriously again. He methodically ruined her argument, her career, and her reputation in like 5 minutes. But I'm gonna show you that clip as well. But let's talk about gender affirming care. What exactly is gender affirming care? Now, they want you to believe that, wow, your child believes that they are a certain gender, and psychologically, if you don't affirm that, which means you get them to dress them a certain way, affirm who they are, call them the appropriate pronouns, that they're going to go off and kill themselves if you don't affirm that. This is the fear that they put parents under, and this is the psychological lack of, with no evidence, this is the psychological games that they play on these young people and on their parents. What they're really saying is that we somehow believe that young children know better than adults when it comes to gender. Somehow that young people, all of the finite thinking that they have, all of the malleable thinking, the manipulation that can occur in a young person's mind, all of that aside, they can't drink, they can't drive, they can't vote, they can't own a gun, they can't join the military, they can't be police officers, they can't even get a job. They can't do nothing. But all of a sudden, when it comes to gender, they somehow have an epiphany and they become intelligent enough to know that, hey, if this happens to me, or if I go through with this, this is what I have to expect when I'm 35. Somehow, some way, they can understand the nuances of gender and sex, even though they have no idea how children are made. But they can still come up with this concept that, you know what, I'm actually a woman. They can't describe what a woman is. They have no idea what that means. Even adults are struggling with that concept, can't even teach the kid the concept. But somehow they think in their mind they want to be this mysterious object, which is referred to as a woman. And they know every step of the way. They know all of they know that this is, you can't go back. You can't change it. It's forever, irreversible. And they understand that, they internalize it, and they have a fair perception of what that will be. This is what they're hoping that we believe when they say gender affirming care. It's just not that. It's completely a lie. Wrote a clip of her on Cuomo. Wrote a clip.
In terms of the concern that, yeah, but when they're young, they don't know, and you should wait. We wait with kids on everything else. We don't like them make decisions about where they're going to go to college, let alone what their identity is. Response.
My response is that kids know their genders Unequivocally, cisgender kids know their genders and transgender kids know their genders, and there shouldn't be really a difference between them. Think about how sure you felt of your gender from some of your earliest childhood memories. It's no different. The confusion comes from external factors in our society that impose cisgender normativity on young people.
What do you say to parents who say, but he'll figure it out, she'll figure it out, this is just a phase? What do you say?
That young people do know who they are. And we say, one thing that I like to say is, like, what does it cost you to just affirm who they say they are?
So, right, the discussion gets more complicated when it's affirm plus let them take this hormone blocker or stall puberty and they want to have a top surgery or a bottom surgery. That becomes more complicated for the parent, though, right? Because it has more implications for the kid's health. A lot of it's unknown about what it would mean.
I wouldn't say that a lot of it is unknown. We are in a very exciting phase in gender affirming care where we're learning more and more all the time. It also happens to be a time when that care is sought to be banned in various states throughout the country. Right. And people are trying to ban it on the basis that we don't have enough information, supposedly, and that feels deeply hypocritical. Why introduce regulations and rules that limit our ability to provide care on the basis that maybe there are unknowns? It just seems like there's something missing there.
They'll say do no harm, which means do nothing.
Do nothing is doing harm.
See, Cuomo didn't push back enough. So you see how ignorant what she said is. Now listen to Dan Crenshaw, literally in her career, wrote a clip.
You said that we've cherry-picked data. How do you mean how do you mean that?
So it is very unscientific and flawed to pick a single study or a single statistic and to discuss it in isolation.
Totally agree.
Medical experts are able to talk about all of the evidence as a whole.
Totally agree. So it's good to look at systematic reviews, right? That's the gold standard of evidence when you're trying to understand whether something works or whether it doesn't. So the British Journal of Medicine looked at 61 systematic reviews with the conclusion that, quote, there is great uncertainty about the effects of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries in young people. The Journal of Endocrine Society came up with the same conclusion, even the American Academy of Pediatrics. They all cite the lack of evidence. And so here's the thing. If you're doing a therapy, and it's, temporary, whatever, fine, maybe let's try it, let's see if it works. But when you're talking about permanent physiological changes, do you not agree, just from an ethical standpoint, that you might want extremely strong evidence of the benefits? And there is no systematic review that states that there is strong evidence of benefits.
Sir, are you aware of how the quality evidence grading system works and how it's applied?
Yeah, we read through it. That's why I'm citing these journals. So which journal says something different? We should have that debate. Tell me a journal that has done systematic reviews that cites different evidence, that cites strong evidence for benefits of these therapies.
The standards of care were developed based on extensive...
You're not telling me any journal, you're not telling me any study. Don't say standards of care.
Yeah. So...
tell me one.
The standards of care.
That's the standards of care. That's not a journal, that's not a study. That's not an organization, that's not an institution. You're just saying words. Name one study. Yeah. I'm out of time. I yield back.
See, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. All you have to do is say journals that have been published and people who research this genuinely and unbiasedly, I would say impartially, they're saying there's no evidence that this is helpful. This treatment there's not enough evidence to say the treatment is helpful, and there's really no evidence of how bad this is going to be over time. And the doctors don't know, researchers don't know, parents have no concept, but you think a 5-year-old should know all this. The 5-year-old have the concept to understand and be able to live out this consequential action when experts don't even have the grasp of how bad this really is or how much this is going to help a young person instead of allowing them to grow out of it. Research have already shown, and I don't know why the numbers are so great, but it's 60 to 90% of kids who say that they're transgender, gay, or whatever, they grow out of it post-pubescent, which means after puberty. They grow out of these things. They mature out of these things. They no longer want to be a flying Superman with 3 tails. They begin to mature mentally, and they see the world for what it is through experience. And for some reason, they want your kids to be crazy. Anyway, Like and subscribe to the channel. I got to get out of here and eat. I ain't ate all day. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.